This technique is called a talar swing. It can be used to assess the mobility of the talocrural joint and or to mobilize a talocrural joint. I'll show you on the skeleton first. So what I'm going to do is put my thumbs on the front of the talus, keep the bottom of the foot relatively parallel to the floor, apply a little bit of traction inferiorly, and then as I bring the tibia backwards under the table into more dorsiflexion, I can give a little bit of a posterior glide to the talus, like so. So I can assess its mobility as well as provide a mobilization if the joint is hypomobile. Another nice thing about this technique is it's a nice way to assess what's called the plane of the joint. So instead of coming straight posterior in a sagittal plane, the ankle joint, talocrural joint, is set up a little bit off from the frontal plane directly. So in order to dorsiflex, I have to be a little bit off from the straight sagittal plane direction. Remember that the lateral malleolus is posterior to the medial and also a little bit inferior. So if I exaggerate it this direction for the joint mobility. So again, I'll come on the talus with my thumbs, hold the bottom of the foot parallel to the floor, give a little bit of traction down, and then dorsiflex back underneath the table like that with a posterior glide applied. If I do that on the foot here, come on the front of the talus, keep the bottom of the foot parallel to the floor. I can apply a little bit of traction down towards the floor, and then I can just bring the foot under the table into relatively more dorsiflexion, assessing for a posterior glide and also providing that posterior glide if necessary. So this is the example too of how my direction is like so. It's not straight back because that's not the plane of the joint. So if you look at the way her foot falls, that's the direction that the talus has to glide posteriorly under the tibia to restore dorsiflexion.